In this video, I'm going to go over how we made a remodeling company based out of Wisconsin, $622,180 within the span of just a couple of months. So most local service businesses or any sort of high ticket service-based business, they have some sort of lead flow, right? This was an established remodeling company. They had decent lead flow from ads and referrals, and they do high ticket projects, right? The bottleneck for them is that they had leads coming in faster than they could work them. The owner is the one handling the setting on top of everything else that they're doing. So the leads are going cold, right? And if you look at the stats on speed to lead, if you take longer than 5 minutes to get back to your leads as soon as they opt in or show interest, you are 21 times less likely to convert that lead. And that just gets worse and worse the longer you wait. So they have inconsistent show rates. People aren't committed to, actually showing the appointment or the in-person consult or estimate, whatever you want to call it. They had no dedicated confirmation process to actually make sure that these people were ready for their in-person estimates. And their revenue is capped by their availability, right? So it's not a lead problem that they had. It's a follow-up and qualification problem. Their unworked leads are just burning their cash that they're spending on ads to actually acquire these leads, right? And the reason they came to us is because, first of all, hiring a setter takes way too long on your own if you don't have a system for it. We have our own pipeline. We have our own existing pool of pre-vetted talent. So we can pull it off. But the average, business owner doesn't have the time to source, vet, and train a setter, never mind manage them. So you're going to deal with people who have poor performance. Or you can ask your existing staff to make calls. But number one, they're already busy with whatever it is that you hired them for. And then secondly, they're not actually trained on sales. At the end of the day, appointment setting, setting appointments for your business is a sales skill. So you need to be trained on that specific skill. So there's no specialization there. What they needed was a setter who actually performs, who can get ramped up quickly and held accountable and managed and replaced if absolutely necessary. It's exactly what we did. So first thing is we figured out what the bottleneck was, right? So obviously speed to lead was one of the biggest issues and there was no follow-up whatsoever. So we placed a vetted setter in their business within 7 days from our pre-vetted pool. We did mock sales calls with that setter based on the remodeling offer. So we studied their ICP, or ideal client profile. We studied their objections, pain points, goals, etc., what they actually desire from a remodeling company. And then we trained the setter on that. Then we had them onboarded and dialing within a week. What we did is we built into their stack. So we integrated with their CRM. They use Monday. We figured out the lead assignment workflow, created their confirmation cadence as well as follow-up cadences, following up during that first week that lead opts in. We're dialing them pretty much every single day for the first 3 days. Then we wait a day and then do it again on the 5th day and then again on the 7th day. So these cadences are designed to reactivate all their leads. And we set the daily KPI targets as well. Then we not only had the setter placed, trained, and ramped up quickly, but we also manage them. So we have daily activity tracking. We look at the performance every single week and adjust anything if necessary. We adjust the script if necessary. We go through objection handling, and we do regular mock calls as well. And we send those weekly reports to the owner as well, so he knows exactly the impact that setter is having on their business. And at the end of the day, the numbers they got, like I said, over 600 grand in total revenue across 6 projects. You can see here. So their set rate increased, meaning that the offers that we gave over the phone for an in-person estimate, we converted 87.9% of those on average into an in-person estimate. So 87.9% of people are saying yes to the appointment when our setter calls them. Show rate went up. Their pipeline velocity is faster, meaning deals close faster. Like I said, these deals all came through within 30 to 60 days, which for a remodeling company is a decent velocity or sales velocity. And the owner does not have to spend any time doing this. So not only is he spending less time on this, he doesn't have to think about anything and he's making more money. So the reason this worked is because we had the right person for the job, right? We have a specialized setter who knows exactly what they're doing, has been trained on this. They're not a generalist or another employee that you've hired who's not trained on sales. And they have a system, right? We've done this for so many different companies at this point. We've worked with like 60 companies. We have the tracking, the scripts, and the management infrastructure totally down, so this is not an issue. Performance accountability, right? They are being managed by us. The owner doesn't even have to be involved in this whatsoever. And there's extremely quick feedback and adjustments. This is ultimately how we get them ramped up so quickly, because it's a very fast feedback loop for that setter. So what you need to have in place for this to actually work is a consistent lead flow, right? So if you're not already generating leads, then I wouldn't recommend getting a setter. So the prerequisite to this is you have decent lead flow. Ideally, if you're running ads and generating inbound interest, that would be perfect. Your offer is good, okay? So it actually converts, right? If you get a referral lead, or if you get a good lead and your offer is not converting them and they're not working with you, then that's a bad sign. I would not hire a setter. And you're doing a amount of revenue where it makes sense to hire the setter and it pays for itself very, very quickly. Your ideal bottleneck is you aren't doing the follow-up, you aren't qualifying your leads, and you have pipeline density issues. So in other words, you're just dropping the ball on leads that you're generating, and it's causing you to bleed revenue. If you're interested in potentially placing a setter and going through this exact same process for your business, in the description, you can visit scalewithsetters.com. We'll diagnose your bottleneck and tell you if the setter is the right move for your business. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.